So I don't know how the black community is going to celebrate Labor Day this year, seeing that prices have really gone up and the California state legislature has stalled on these reparation bills. Have you seen this? So Saturday, there were protests at the California state capitol, Sacramento, because they have stalled these reparation bills, fearing that there would be a veto of these bills by Governor Newsom. I'll get into that here in a moment. But let me get to the latest on these price hikes regarding Labor Day. CBS was reporting this, Breitbart, but this is at Breitbart. And welcome back to the channel, Culture Confederacy. Here it's Sunday night. So if you're new to the channel, no fancy graphics, epic soundtracks, pretty boy camera angles. It's you, me, my smartphone, the news of the day, and this mission, this crusade to preserve great art, music, history, and culture. That's what we do on the channel. So whenever we have 4th of July or Labor Day, Memorial Day, whatever holiday it is, and you've got a price hike, that puts a dent in your celebration. It just does. So it says here that gas prices are up by nearly 50% this year. And according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, the cost of propane, kerosene, and firewood have jumped by 16% compared to 2021. Now, I saw this video over at CBS. And they were interviewing a couple of people in a grocery store. And this one lady, who happened to be black, by the way, paid $28 for a steak. Now, I don't care if you're white, black, Hispanic, polka dot, purple, or green. $28 for a steak is insane, unless it's really, really good steak. Or you live in Hawaii. But $28 for a steak? I'll tell you what I've been doing. I've been getting the stir fry, because that seems to be on sale. Stir fry, round steak. Those you can find pretty cheap. And actually, round steak, if you do it right, is really tender, juicy steak in the crock pot. Best way to do it, I've found. But you just got to let it cook for a long time. But it's probably the most flavorful steak I've had is the round steak. Or the stir fry. Like I said, just throw it in the crock pot. I mean, it's all beef, right? I mean, you could always, grind it yourself if you had to. So they're also saying here, according to the CPI Consumer Price Index, that price for ground beef has risen 26% compared to January 2021. Hot dogs are up 25%. And you've got beef sitting at around $5.50 per pound. Frozen chicken pieces, 23% higher. Whole chicken, 27% higher. Bread's also going up. It's kind of seeing that same spike between 25 to 27%. That's insane, absolutely insane. So getting to this protest at the California State Capitol, this according to KCRA 3, says here the protest at California's state capitol broke out Saturday afternoon after the state's California legislature Black Caucus voted not to go ahead with two reparation proposals. Now, the bills in question are SB 1403 and SB 1331. Now, SB 1403 was designed to form a California reparations agency overseeing the reparations process, and SB 1331 would have created a state fund that doled out these payments. And $6 million was supposed to go to, I think, California State University that would do this research, report to the Reparations Task Force. Remember, they were trying to set up this Reparations Task Force and want to give all the residents or black residents in San Francisco $5 million for reparations. Now, keep in mind, California was never a slave state. Unless you go way back in history to, let's say, the settling by the Spanish. Spanish at one time may have had slaves here. But if you're talking about California as a state, the state of California was never a slave state. Now, the protesters are supporters of reparations for descendants of enslaved black Americans. And the state's Legislative Black Caucus released a statement regarding their decision here. saying that they feared that the bills would be vetoed by Governor Newsom. And Saturday night, midnight, was the deadline for any of these bills. That's the end of the California state legislative session. But the Black Caucus gave different answers on why they didn't go through with this. So some are saying it's because they feared that Governor Newsom would veto the bill or these bills. And State Senator Stephen Bradford said the governor's office had concerns about SB 1403 and proposed amendments that would have turned the measure more into a study. Now, KCRA3 reports that they reviewed the proposed changes that would have given that $6 million to California State University. So they've looked at this, and it's just a mess. It's a complete mess. So this whole idea that you're going to dole out reparations to everybody, descendants of enslaved Black Americans, isn't quite panning out the way they thought it was. I did a video way back talking about what was going on in Detroit. Detroit was having the same issue. They couldn't get the Black community to show up at these meetings regarding reparations. And if they did, it was a very small number of people. And then they had to think about, where that money would go. They had issues in certain areas of the city, infrastructure, that sort of thing. So it's just not as easy as writing it out as a check, is it? So I thought I'd share this with you tonight, combine both stories into one tonight. These price hikes, there you go. We got price hikes at the store now. These price hikes at the store, and then with Labor Day. But that's just been happening all through this past couple years. These price hikes in gas, food, you name it. $28 for a steak. I can't believe it. So thank you for being with me. Hope you enjoyed the video. You know what to do if you did. You can follow me at Instagram, #JasonComposes, because I write music in my spare time. You can now find me at Substack. Or go to X, Culture Confederacy, at CultureConfed1 on X. This is the Culture Confederacy saying peace out. Stay safe, everybody. God bless this thing called the United States. I'll catch you next time. And you all have a great Sunday night. Take care.